fill up my senses like a night in a forest, like the mountains in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. You fill up my senses, come fill me again. Come let me love you, let me give my life to you, let me drown in your laughter, let me die in your arms, let me lay down beside you, let me always be with you. You fill up my senses, come fill me again.
Thank you for coming here today. Before we begin the proceedings, I'd like to acknowledge and pay our respects to the traditional owners of this land, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. It is upon their ancestral lands which we gather today, and I would like to pay my respect to elders past and present, and also extend that respect to any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people here today. My name is Laura. I'm a friend of Hannah and Greg's, and it is with absolute honour that I stand in front of you today to join the lives of these two dear people in marriage. I'll be doing the ceremony, and Reverend Graham Long, who's the pastor here at the Wayside Chapel, will be signing the certificates. I've worked at the Wayside Chapel for 3 years, and I can tell you right now that where you're sitting is at the very pointy end of humanity. This is a place where we support some of the most marginalised and vulnerable people in our community. A lot of what we do is really, really unromantic. We support people in the throes of addiction, homelessness, and mental illness. But I honestly couldn't think of a more romantic place to get married. Because whatever is thrown at us here at Wayside, we meet it with love. And we meet it with the truest kind of love. A love that is free of judgment and full of wonder. A love that lifts us up and reminds us that grace is everywhere to be found. A love that doesn't care who you are, where you've come from, or what you've done. A love that is always present, soaring with us to the greatest heights of humanity and coming with us to the lowest depths of destruction. And it's a love that sees beauty where no one else is looking. It is a great honour to stand here today at the Wayside Chapel on a little patch of earth in the heart of King's Cross to marry my dear friends Hannah and Greg. Hannah and Greg are the kind of couple that everyone loves to love. Utterly awesome in their own rights. I'm sure I can speak for everyone when I say that the world lit up when their two lives collided. I first met Hannah a couple of years ago when she was doing some PR work for the Wayside Chapel. Hannah is the kind of person that you instantly adore. And I think that outpouring of love and support on this balcony today is a testament to that. When I first met Hannah, she was interested in coming on a Wayside adventure to climb Kilimanjaro. When she asked me to go try and speak to her about coming along, I was armed with all my best peer pressuring statements. But I needn't bother. Hannah was itching to jump into a new life full of adventure and full of meaning, and she couldn't wait to get started. We've since become really good friends, and I count my blessings every day that Hannah is in my life, inspiring me within her enthusiasm and joy for everything from the simple to the grand. It was such a joy to watch Hannah flourish during the changes she was making in her life, and I knew it wouldn't be long to an amazing man would come into that same life. It was around this time that Greg, also busy with a life full of adventure and meaning, sent out a final round of emails via eHarmony to some potential prospects. One of them, luckily, landed in the inbox of Hannah, and so two worlds collided. I first met Greg just 2 floors below here at a photo exhibition. A lot of Hannah's friends were here that night, but I don't think they were here to see the photos. They wanted to meet the man who had stolen our friend's heart in just a few days. We all fell instantly in love with Greg, a man with more eagerness for life I do not know. Being in the presence of Hannah and Greg, even in those early days, was something special. The world felt like a better place because they had found one another. And so we watched in wonder as Hannah and Greg's lives intertwined and they set out on their journey together. And I think deep down we all knew we wouldn't have to wait too long until this day, where we witnessed 2 beautiful souls promising their futures to one another. I came across some words from Pablo Neruda that I think sum up Hannah and Greg perfectly. I love you without knowing how or when or from where. I love you simply, without problems or pride. I love you in this way because I do not know any other way of loving you, in which there is no I or you. So intimate that your hand upon my chest is my hand. So intimate that when I fall asleep, your eyes close. I'd now like to ask Dave to come up to do another reading.
Sorry. Hannah and Greg have drawn inspiration from your choices of songs for the wedding to come up with the following words about love. I heard people say that too much of anything is not good for you. But I don't know about that because, my darling, I just can't get enough of your love, baby. I just want you to love you and treat you right. I want to love you every day and every night. Because your love keeps lifting me higher than I've ever been lifted before. So let's stay together. Loving you whether times are good or bad, happy or sad. Yes, here I am, baby. Signed, sealed, delivered. And when I wake up, well, I know I'm going to be the man who wakes up next year. Because I would walk 500 miles and even walk 500 more just to be the man that walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. Why? Because love is in the air, in the whisper of the trees. Yes, love is in the air, in the thunder of the seas. But what is love, you ask? Well, when the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. And when the world seems to shine like you've had too much wine, that's amore. It's when you get chills that are multiplying. And when you're losing control, when the power that you're supplying, it's electrifying. It's almost like you're tweaking in a whole new era of G-Funk on a whole new level, in which the rhythm is the bass and the bass is the treble. Basically, it's when all of me loves all of you. So give your all to me and I'll give my all to you. And if things get tough, remember, in the words of the great George Michael, before the river comes an ocean, you've got to have faith, faith, faith.
It's now with a heart filled with love that I will join together these wonderful people in marriage. Give us eyes to see and ears to hear and hearts to apprehend that which makes this moment beautiful, sacred and life-giving. Do you, Greg, take Hannah to be your wife? Do you promise to live your life openly with her and speak the truth to her? Do you promise to honour and tenderly care for her for as long as you shall live? Hannah, do you take Greg to be your husband?
Hannah, I love you.
You are my best friend.
You are my best friend.
Today.
Didn't last long at all, did it?
And today you become my wife.
And today you become my wife.
To have and to hold.
To have and to hold
From this day forward.
from this day forward.
For better or for
Better or for worse.
richer or poorer.
Richer or poorer.
Sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
To love and to cherish.
To love and to cherish.
Till death do us part.
Till death do us part.
This is my song.
This is my song.
Greg, I love you.
Greg, I love you.
You are my best friend.
You are my best friend.
And today you become my husband.
And today you become my husband. To have and hold
From this day forward.
from this day forward.
For better or for worse.
For better or for worse.
For richer or poorer.
For richer or poorer.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
To love and to cherish.
To love and to cherish.
Till death do us part.
Till death do us part.
This is my solemn vow.
This is my solemn vow.
It's now time to exchange the rings. Just so we didn't lose it, you know. When we place the ring, say these words. With this ring, I thee wed.
With this ring, I thee wed.
With this ring, say these words. With this ring, I thee wed.
With this ring, I thee wed.
May you remember today for all days, not for the words that were spoken or the people that are here. Remember for the moment when you hand your heart to the other, knowing that it is held in safe hands forevermore. I now pronounce you husband and wife. Sign the document along with Kathy and Kate. Yeah.
Yeah.
While Hannah and Greg are doing the official stuff, we'd like to play Greg's proposal song for you. I know some of you have already heard it, but for those who haven't, there's a bit of background, so I'll share it with you. Early on in their relationship, Greg played a Frank Sinatra song for Hannah, which contains the lyrics, "Let's take it nice and easy." Hannah took it the wrong way. She thought this way it was Greg's way of telling her to slow things down. And it became a bit of a running joke in their relationship. So when Greg decided he wanted to propose, he wrote new words to the song and recorded it one day after school with his friends as backing singers. His plan was to find the perfect location in Europe to play the song and propose to Hannah. He found that location just down the road from his parents' place, in Crete with a view of the sunset over Suda Bay. They had a picnic dinner, a bottle of red wine. Greg seized the moment and played the song. Hannah cried, Greg cried, and here we are. So let's listen to how it all went down.
Hannah, let's look at me.
I know this may seem cheesy, might even make you queasy, but I've written you a song. Look to you, you may recall that I've played it for you before. But since then we've come along. We've got to know each other, become best of friends. It seems we look at life through matching lens. Oh, never rhymes with friends. So I've spoken to your father. Yeah. You've spoken with your mother. Yeah. They said that it would be alright. So I'd like to ask you, what would you like to ask? And I hope you'd like to. What would you like to ask? 'Cause I'd really love you to be my wife. He's asking her to be his wife. It's not about red tape. That bottom says you're worth more than a piece of paper. So much more. This is for real, and if you don't want, I can't make you, but will you be my wife? So will you be my wife?
Nearly done, Laura.
We've already got water there.
Beautiful.